Hi, I'm Julie. The reason I'm making this video today is that I wanted to share my thoughts and feelings about getting older. So I'm 61, so I'm in my 60s, and my mum is 90. She's 91 this year, and she's been having some health problems. She's got Alzheimer's. It's now going quite quickly, her deterioration. She's getting very lonely. Physically, she's almost incapable of walking now. I'm about an hour and a half away, so I can't just pop in for a cup of tea. And I can try to get down and see her as often as I can. The way I'm feeling is that I'm seeing her losing, I don't really know how to put it. I feel like, from my perspective, I feel like she doesn't have a quality of life. And I don't want that for myself. We're trying to do as much as we possibly can to give her the best quality of life that she can have at the moment. But it has made me look inwards and just try and decide what I want to do with the rest of my life. So with that in mind, I just want to talk to you today about what I'm planning, what plans I'm putting in place. So where I've started is to sit down and really think about, well, I suppose the basics. How long do I think I've got to live? So I'm 61 now, and I'm giving myself until I'm 85, and it could be 80, 85. So that's quite a while. So you know, it's just shy of 25 years. Doesn't sound a lot, but when you put it into perspective, well, how long or how many of those remaining 25 years that I've given myself am I going to be physically able to do what I want to do? So, for example, I'm going to be able to drive my car. I'm going to be able to go out for walks. I can go abroad. I can do everything I'm doing right now, I think, for the next 10 to 15 years. But after that, I'm going to have to start factoring in the fact that I may not be able to do what I want to do. So then I've got to plan for that accordingly. One of those things that I'm thinking about is that on my last optician's appointment, he told me that I had beginnings of cataracts, which scared the life out of me, to be fair, because I'm a bookkeeper and I work for myself, run my own business, and I work from home. So I'm the only breadwinner in this household because I live on my own. So it did kick in the guts of how that could affect me. So once the initial shock had passed, I decided that I needed to really think about what to do, because I was always planning to carry on working past retirement age. So in the UK, retirement age is 67 for everyone. That's only 6 years away. And the thought of me retiring at 67, there's no way. I know there are so many things about that just is a total no-no for me. For example, I know how bored I would get. I need mental stimulation, and I need the money because I have no fat pension pot waiting for me when I retire. I don't own my own house, so I've got to earn money to pay the rent to be able to live where I want to live. And I think I'll probably make another video about renting in your 60s and all that comes with that. But right now, today, this is about looking forward and planning for the next 25 years. But I'm finding that it's hard. Do I think it feels lonely? I don't know if I call it lonely, but I do think that it is scary because it's just me. There's no backup plan. There's no safety net. So this feels like, to me, this is heavy, heavy stuff. And it's scary to get into those sort of thought processes because I really don't want to go spiraling down some rabbit hole, feeling depressed and all that kind of stuff. I want it to be positive, taking control positive. And, well, the fact that it does feel heavy. Those are the only words I can think of. But it's important. When I started thinking about looking forward to my retirement and my last remaining 25 years, I'm just going to be blunt and come out with it and say it. It was scary to think that it was going to be on my own. And I mourned the loss of what I thought I was always going to have, growing old and grey with someone and going through it all with someone. But on the flip side of that, I guess I'm very independent and I think I'm used to being on my own now. So I thought, well, stop feeling so down and scared about the future and let's just crack on with it. So here we are. Facing the future means that there's more years behind you than there are in front of you, and that really is a very scary thought. And not everybody is brave enough to face that or do that kind of deep thinking and planning for what you want. You're still watching, so that means that you're doing it too, which is good. It means I'm not alone, and it means that I'm right in having these thought processes. It's a quiet kind of nudge that you get, that you just need to design the rest of your life, decide what the plans are going to be. And I think it really does take guts, but we're here and we're going to move forward. Right, so what does this really mean? So the way that I'm looking at it, and in my remaining however many years that I've got left, and we're putting a number 25 on that at the moment. So those last remaining years, and I've given them the number 25, they're all mine to do exactly what I want to do. I don't have to take into consideration anybody else's opinions. I can just do what I want with the rest of my life. I don't owe anybody else anything. And I know that's going to sound as if I'm dismissing my kids, but I'm not. Obviously, my kids and my grandkids are the light of my life. But this is the last 25 years of my life, and you have to balance between what you want to do and having a family life. And again, that's another topic that we'll go into a deeper discussion about. But for now, and having watched my mum deteriorate, and she's just, what's the word? Cruising along. Drifting is probably a much better word. She's drifting along to the end of her life. And that may happen in the last few years of anybody's life. I don't know, but I want to make sure that I live the rest of my life the way that I want to. Being an introvert means that I don't want to go out and about too much, but if I want to stay in my home and do what I want to do, then I can. But as long as I make that decision and I'm happy with that, and if I want to go off on a cruise somewhere, then I can do that. If I want to go for a walk at midnight, I can do that. I can basically do anything that I want to. And that's the thing, that you need to take some time to decide what you want to do. And what I've done is I've taken a notebook and I've written down how I want my remaining years to feel to me. And it's hard sometimes, because I could just quite easily I'm just going to stay at home and I'm going to be with my plants and I'm going to do this and watch that television program, watch YouTube, do anything. But I want to push myself out of my comfort zone as well. I don't want to just sit and vegetate, if that makes sense. So I want my days to be peaceful. That's the one word that I use on my list, and I've got my list here. I want to spend more time with my grandkids. I've got 4 grandchildren, very proud of them all. I have one grandchild that is 18, another one is turning 9 this year, and then little ones came along. One's just turned 2 and the other one's just turned 1. So we have a real range, and spending time with them is the highlight of my life. And again, another video I thought about doing was to being a grandmother in modern age, because there are challenges to that too. Getting back to the 25 years I have left, I have said that I work for myself. I run my own business. I started that business when I was 57, because after COVID I liked working from home, and I decided that that's what I wanted to do, and I went ahead and did it. And again, we can talk about that in another video. But I run my own business, and I am the only person that makes the money in this household, because there is only me. So it's a responsibility. So moving forward in these 25 years, I have to decide how long I'm going to do this. Can I do this? Will I be able to do this? And at what point do I stop? So my goal today, and of course all of these goals are changeable. Nothing's set in stone, and it's a work in progress all the time. And I'm thinking that I'll work until I'm 75. I will possibly, I'm thinking at the moment anyway, when 67 rolls up in 6 years' time, I will probably not take my pension out straight away. I have a very small pension from donkey's years ago that it's not by any stretch of the imagination going to pay for any of my bills. And then there's the state pension, which I've made sure that I've got all the eligible years in place. You can delay taking the money out, which means that you will then end up getting more money in each year. And I'm by no means an expert in this, and I might have got it wrong. So that's my financial plan at the moment. I also don't work 9 till 5. At the moment, I'm able to work between 9 and 2. Sometimes I have to do a couple of hours at the weekend, but it's not a problem because it's just me and I can work whenever I damn well please. Will I want to reduce my workload more so that I'm only working, I don't know, say 10 till 2 or 10 to 1 or something like that? So maybe, we'll see. But I want to go on a trip to the Aegean in the Mediterranean because I'm a big fan of the Greek mythology and Iliad and Odyssey, that all that kind of stuff with the Greek gods and all that. I love reading those kind of books, so I want to go to the places that they're talking about in the books. And to me, I think going on a cruise would be the safer option as a single person, as a solo woman going away. And I found that they do solo cruises, which means that it's only solo people on these cruises. It's quite expensive, or I think it's expensive at the moment, as this year's prices are about £5,500, so I'm going to have to save up for it. I don't have that kind of money available. I'm planning on doing that, so that is like a dream. Yes, but it's going to push me right out of my comfort zone because it will be scary going on holiday on my own abroad on a cruise. But it's very scary, but I want to push myself out of my comfort zone because I want to go and see these places. I can imagine that it's going to be absolutely stunning to see it all with the Mediterranean, blue sea and sky and all that kind of stuff. So I want to do it, so I'm going to push myself to do it. Same with this YouTube channel. I've always wanted to do this sort of thing, but I've never had the guts, whatever, to do it. And I kind of be in my fuck it era, for want of a better word. I want to get to be 75, shall we say, look back and say, yes, you did everything that you wanted to do in those last good physical years. And I think I'll be pleased with that. I think I'll be happy to move forward into the less physically able years without having any regrets at all. And that's important to me now as I'm sitting here. And I hope that's going to have been important to me as I get to 75. Maybe I'll make a video about it when I'm 75, I don't know. Watch this space. I just have this fear of drifting on because you know how quickly the days go now. And honestly, I can get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, put my dressing gown on, go and sit at my desk, get immersed in the bookkeeping work and look up and suddenly it's 1 o'clock and no breakfast and I'm starving for lunch. But that day, morning's gone. And then I get up and I out, and so I get my lunch and I do a bit of pottering, maybe do the washing up, maybe water a few plants, put some washing on, go back, do a bit more bookkeeping. And before you know, it's 5 o'clock and you think, oh, right, so you make your dinner, you sit down, watch a couple of YouTube channels, maybe a film, whatever, and then it's bedtime. And that day is gone. And to me, although I've earned money doing the bookkeeping work and it's going to pay my jobs and I've watered a few plants so they're going to stay alive and things that I've done are chores that have needed to be done, that day has drifted past. So that's what I think is the driving force behind it. Way of thinking is that I don't want those days to drift and then it's a year and then another year and then it's a decade and suddenly you're at 75 and you've not done enough. But anyway, what do you think? What's your thoughts on this? How are you planning for next 10 years, the next 15 years? Does it scare you? Let me know what you think. And if you've got any suggestions for me, that would be great. So all help is much appreciated. It would just be good to know what your thoughts are on this. So my name's Julie. Thank you for watching. If you like what I've said in this video and you want to see some more, then please subscribe to my channel. Oh God, I bet that's awful.